What happened now?
I tried to look up the article.
You don't do that on the thing you're using. Don't you have a phone? What are you using? A computer or a phone or what?
I'm on my laptop.
I already
left this in the basement. I don't think I have the cardio for a second trip.
That's okay.
Doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because we are...
Anything that takes more than 12 steps isn't worth doing.
Are you done now?
You want to do the intro?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience, everyone.
Oh, I'm leaving all this in. This is how we're starting the show. Welcome back to Rat Salad Review. We are back. It's been, how many weeks? 2 weeks? It's been 2 weeks. I'll make it up. I guess it's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks, I guess.
That's what, wasn't that from the, not Terminator, last call? No, the Schwarzenegger movie.
It
was this,
Last Action Hero?
Black Fate or something?
No, not like that. No. There was an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he's in this airport or something. He's like 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden he like opens up and all this stuff happens. Total Recall. Yes, thank you.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, that's a spaceport, not an airport.
Yeah.
Well, I really never saw the movie. I just saw that part. I just thought it was funny.
Man, you're losing all kinds of credit tonight. First you call My Chemical Romance punk. Now you don't like Total Recall.
Hey. I'm of the minority belief pop punk is punk.
Yeah, it is.
Because the Ramones put out that album with Phil Spector. That was poppy as hell. And who's more punk than the Ramones?
That's right. Shut up,
Ramones
Craig.
had long hair, too.
As you will see, there is a new co-host with us tonight, and this might be his first and last show, but we'll see what happens.
Axe me. They've got me in the closet.
Nate, introduce yourself, Nate.
I'm Nate. I'm the thrash kid.
The thrash kid?
I'm the thrash boy. Look at me.
Municipal Boys. Wow.
My profile picture on Facebook doesn't lie. This is pretty much how I look.
It is fairly accurate. I do see that. Wow. Did you draw that yourself?
No, I did not.
No.
I got that from pretty much the best Facebook page ever, Thrash Snobs. I showed it to Greg. He thought
it's pretty fun.
I'll have to take a look at that then.
Yeah, you should.
Everybody, welcome Nate to the show. Hello, Nate.
Welcome.
So,
we welcome you to Munchkin Land, fiddle-dee-dee.
Well, we have some sad news starting the show. Timi Hansen, bassist from Merciful Fate, King Diamond, has passed away. Passed away, what, on November 4th? Yesterday. Yeah.
Day before yesterday.
Today's the 5th.
No, today's the 6th.
Oh,
yesterday was.
Today's the 6th. At work, I wrote 5 on everything. Whoops! Well, anyway.
As he cuts all the checks out of the Christmas cards.
Yeah. Shh, don't talk about that.
I mean, that's a real bummer. I'm a real big Merciful Fate fan.
Yeah.
It's just, I think that's like the genesis of power metal as well as influencing a ton of other stuff. So that's a real bummer to hear.
Power metal? How the hell does that work into power metal?
Oh, come on. And how just like the attitude and the setup like that, you get really into the scene of the song is how I always kind of thought it. That and King Diamond's vocals, I always thought were kind of a proto power metal, kind of like Sabotage and Riot.
Sabotage and Riot, yeah, okay, all right, I'll give you that. Sure, but we're not talking about King Diamond. We're talking about Timi Hansen.
Well, I am talking about King Diamond because King Diamond is apparently very sad that Timi Hansen died.
He is. Do you want to read what he wrote?
All I have is Lars sad and King Diamond sad. And then Fate rules with 3 exclamation points.
Oh, well, you're taking really good notes. That's a good job on your first day.
Yep.
You're doing really great.
Better than all the rest of my jobs.
But yeah, him and both of them, King Diamond and Lars, wrote stuff. Actually, Mickey D wrote things on Facebook too. Not Facebook.
He did one too. That's good.
Yep. Mickey D did one.
That's cool.
And a couple other people did some. But
I'm surprised by just how many people knew him, just on a personal level.
Oh yeah, actually, we're doing a King Diamond show podcast starting next week. Actually,
I'll be at
and
that show.
no, I'm not going to. We're having a
Oh,
podcast.
podcast about the show.
Yeah,
I'm
no, a
old enough
podcast about King Diamond in
King
general.
Diamond. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm new to the format. Here.
yeah, sure you are. You just don't pay attention. So,
Step out of Greg here. He's kind of zoning out.
yeah, that's what he does.
Right.
But yeah, I tried to contact as many people from both bands as I could, and Timi was one of them. And I did contact him a few times, and both times he's been too sick to actually do the show. So he was hoping that when he got better, he would have been able to come on, but obviously that's not going to happen now. So it really sucks. It killed me to see that the other day when his son wrote that on Facebook. I was just like, oh, it sucks, you know.
Yeah, it does. I was really hoping he was going to get better.
Yeah, he seemed pretty optimistic about it too. So unfortunately, it's not how it got, came to be. So rest in peace, Timi, and condolences to your family and everybody from Merciful Fate, King Diamond, and friends, family, whatever. Very sorry. All right. Don't want to. What's that?
Full condolences.
Yes, thank you. Yes. All right. Well, I know it's kind of hard to move on from that, but what else is going on in the news today or this week?
Ozzy revealed his favorite solo guitarist. To big surprise, it's Randy Rhoads. But I thought we got
Rhoads.
Ozzy. Yeah, I mean, really, what a shocker, right?
I don't know. What?
I mean, it was between him or Zach Wilde. He's not picking Jakey Lee. Come on.
No, whoever picks Jakey
Lee was as good of a guitar player as Jakey Lee was.
Jakey Lee over Zach Wilde.
What?
Okay,
really?
Maybe over Zach Wilde and like writing on the album and stuff, but I mean, it's not that big of a contest. Ozzy's not really known for the riffs outside of Sabbath, as far as I know.
Yeah, that's true. No, Randy's the obvious choice. I mean,
I actually prefer Zach over Randy.
Hey, Zach's great too. He's a good guitar player.
He is. He's also
for the Pantera reunion, but
no, I wouldn't pick him for the Pantera reunion, and I also wouldn't pick him for any of his Black Label Society bands or whatever else he does. I don't like any of that crap. I think
Zach Sabbath is okay.
Yeah, I don't like any of that stuff that he does. The stuff that he did with Ozzy was cool, but yeah. I'm surprised nobody mentions Gus G.
Oh, Gus G.
He was there for like a minute. Yeah, exactly. He's a really good guitar player, but he was only in Ozzy for like a minute. And the only thing that he did on the albums, I don't even think he did anything on the albums besides solos.
I thought he was just on the last leg of Diary of a Madman. Or who am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Zach Wilde.
No, he's talking about Brad Gillis.
That's it.
From Night Ranger. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of for a sec.
The guy who plays on Speak of the Devil or Talk of the Devil if you're in Europe.
Right.
A different name? I didn't know that.
The phrase in Europe and Britain is actually Talk of the Devil. Speak of the Devil wouldn't make any sense in their lexicon, and that's why the name's different over there.
Aren't you very worldly?
At least it's a name change that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Killing Machine versus Hellbent for Leather, like...
Oh, that's retarded.
What?
That's dumb. Oh, oops, am I allowed to say retarded on our show?
Yes.
Okay. So you're picking Randy Rhoads, Nate?
I'd have to go with Rhoads because Diary of a Madman and Blizzard are too good to pass up.
Yeah,
as much as I liked Bark at the Moon and what's that album? Ultimate Sin, yeah. I'd have to go with Randy just because those first two. I mean, really, without him, Ozzy, I don't think he would have exploded into superstardom like he did.
No, probably not.
Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny though, like he was in Quiet Riot, and Quiet Riot didn't do shit with Randy Rhoads in there.
Right. That's what always weirded me out. It's like Quiet Riot didn't do anything with their best lineup.
Yeah. And then he goes to Ozzy, and it's like, he's a superstar.
Right.
Really weird, isn't it?
It is weird.
Makes you think, was it even Randy Rhoads playing that guitar?
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with that. It's
Well,
just, I mean,
really, holy cow.
you know, that they were fucking young and they all grew up together in Quiet Riot, and they were still kids, basically. They just weren't good songwriters yet.
Yeah, they didn't get there yet.
I mean, there is some good stuff, like on that Randy Rhoads years compilation, and then on the first two albums with him too. But as full records, they don't play very well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting, but most of it isn't particularly good.
Sense. But you know, without Randy, you don't have like Crazy Train. You don't have Flying High Again.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He was finally with quality songwriters. You know, you got Lee Kerslake from Uriah Heep and Bob Daisley.
That's right.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting Uriah Heep exists. Man,
Well,
listen to it
it's not like
often.
Ozzy wrote a note of any of it. So.
Yeah, that's freaking weird.
Yeah, no, it's a shame. I really wish Randy would have lived. I would have liked to have seen what they did once they broke away.
I would have liked to seen how much better he would have gotten.
Yeah.
That's with me with guitarists that are always taken away too early. It's like, how much more could we have gotten out of them?
Yeah. Yeah, would Ultimate Sin been a better album with Randy Rhoads?
Oh, Randy wouldn't have still been in the band by 86.
You don't think so?
I don't know. He and Ozzy had the chemistry.
No, him, Bob, and Lee were talking about leaving during the Diary of the Madman tour already.
Really?
Yeah.
Figure that.
It's in a couple different books about
What are you doing
that
with your
era
hand?
of the band.
Put both of your hands up. Where's both of your hands? Why is your camera shaking? All right.
I'm just tapping my foot. It
doesn't look like it when your hands are up.
I thought you were talking to me. I'm like, I haven't moved
next
in
to
the
me.
past 5 minutes. What the fuck
There
are
we
you
go.
talking about?
All I see is his camera going up and down, up and down, up and down, and his hands
I
are...
really like Ozzy, guys.
Randy Rhoads! Randy Rhoads! Oh.
Now that's the ultimate sin.
There we go. Without her, he would have been dead, though. As a doornail. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he'd have been gone
yeah.
25 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
But, like we were saying, or like Nate was saying earlier about, you know, Ozzy wasn't really always about the riffs in his solo band. I really like what Jake does do on Bark at the Moon and the Ultimate Sin, but he gets much better and much more interesting when he did Badlands after he was in Ozzy, actually.
I never listened to that.
Yeah, no, I feel like he got kind of pigeonholed on them two Ozzy records. Well, not so much Bark at the Moon, but definitely on the Ultimate Sin. But
Yeah.
he really gets a chance on the Ultimate Sin to stretch out, though. He writes a lot more on that one.
Ultimate Sin's going for a direction instead of just writing music.
Yeah.
There's the big change. Like, they're going for that glam direction instead of it's just everyone's writing just heavy metal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not
What? You froze again? And we actually did a album versus album with that Ultimate Sin. So anybody wants to go watch that, go ahead.
Yes,
like
we did.
Months ago.
Against Turbo?
Yes, it was. Or was it Turbo? Or was it? Maybe it was Turbo. I think it was Turbo. Yes, it was Turbo. Nate has frozen. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, it had to have been Turbo because we did Club Ninja against Waiting for the Roar.
Yeah, that is correct, sir. All right. What else we got? My Chemical Romance has reunited. Me and Nate are very ecstatic about it.
I will not be okay.
Jesus wept.
I did not like them when I first heard that Black Parade song. I was just like, this is just terrible. I hate this shit. It's annoying. The guy is too emo. I hate emo stuff. It's just too whiny. And then after 1,000 times listening to that Black Parade song, it just got stuck in my head. And then I gave it a chance, and I said, this is a really good album. And now I love it.
I never liked Welcome to the Black Parade until it breaks into the fast part of the song. But then once it gets going, it really gets going.
Right, it does. And like I said to you earlier, to me, it's almost like the punk version of Bohemian Rhapsody because it's got that slow intro and it's got that build-up thing, and it's a really cool song. And the whole concept of the Black Parade album, it's just really good. It was a very genius thing for that time period, for a punk band to do something like that. That blew away anything Green Day ever tried to do with their shitty concept albums.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Anything Green Day did after American Idiot, I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah, well, both of them look like piles of dog shit next to Black Flag, so who gives a fuck?
Cut it out. Black Flag.
Yeah, here's a gas station hot dog. Let's put it next to this perfect kielbasa here and see which one everybody chooses.
I'd actually choose My Chemical Romance, even though I do like Black Flag. But Black Flag lost their way.
I can't. You lost me there, bud.
Black Flag lost their way when Henry Rollins took over, and after a few albums, he had to have this ego and then have every album be like a poetry album or whatever the hell he was doing. That's stupid. That's dumb.
No, Greg Ginn lost the way.
I don't care.
The last album is instrumental. I mean, really, Rollins doesn't say a word on it.
No, he's talking about before that, though.
Yeah,
before that. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the reason Damaged is their best album is because it's the best of Black Flag with their angriest frontman on it.
Yeah.
I think the first 4 years is their best release.
Hey, I love Keith Morris. Keith Morris is great.
Yeah.
But I do like Damaged a lot and My War. All three of those.
I like Slip It In more than My War.
Slip It In's more metal than My War.
See, I'm not too familiar with that album. I have them, but I just don't. I don't know. They're not my favorite punk band. Nick froze again. Man,
that's a tough question to answer.
Is he thinking about it? He froze. He's got a weird look. Look at him. There we go. He's back. You froze.
Most important sentence of the discussion completely cut out there.
What did you say? It was fine because we were making fun of you.
What did you say, Greg?
What did you say?
Well, what did he say about My War versus Slip It In? That's what I was...
Oh, you missed that?
Oh, I said Slip It In's definitely the more metal-oriented record of the two.
Right, like that early New York hardcore kind of sound almost.
Yeah.
It's a bit Cro-Magsy. I do have to agree.
Cro-Mags. Another band I never listened to.
There's another thing. Harley Cro-Mags Flanagan. Who picks their own nickname as their band name? Like, reverse that. I mean, like their own band name is their nickname. Who chooses their own nickname?
Usually that's given to you, but...
Right. No, on Facebook, he's Harley Cro-Mags Flanagan. I'm like, what are you doing?
Branding.
Yeah, basically.
In the digital age.
Yeah. Could you imagine Dave Megadeth Mustaine? How ridiculous that would be.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of solo work, but it's like, that would be unbelievable.
The sad thing is it doesn't sound too far-fetched considering Dave in the past, but I think he's beyond all of that now.
Yeah.
Greg, it's still better than the name Warheads on Foreheads.
Oh, yeah. God, that's terrible. Good thing that wasn't a real album.
Yeah, I know, right? It had a great cover, though. I liked the cover on the front of it. Just
yeah,
this
that is a really
amount of weapons.
Yeah, that is a cool album cover, but that name is terrible.
Oh, yeah. But it's like if Wile E. Coyote designed an F-20. It's great.
Too funny.
Hopefully next year's Megadeth album is a real Megadeth album instead. Because I heard, like, we're putting out an album this year. It's a greatest hits album.
Yeah, I know. Who needs another one of those? Especially they've already had, like, what, 3?
People want to talk about Metallica selling out. Megadeth have 3 greatest hits albums.
Yeah. And Metallica still has not put one out.
Right.
Not one. Isn't that weird? Like, every band has put out a greatest hits album. Except for Metallica.
It's not weird. They've talked about it hundreds of times over the years. It was something they agreed they never wanted to do because they saw it as a cash grab.
Yeah,
Right.
that's all it is. I mean,
So they put out a bunch of
People want
other
to talk about
outrageous
bands
shit
flipping
to
on the
trick you
first
into
album.
spending your money.
Hey, Garage Inc. was good.
yeah, I like that. Why'd you got a
I
weird
like-
look on your face?
Huh?
Why do you have a weird look? You didn't think that
I
was...
couldn't hear what he said.
Oh, he said Garage
really
Inc.
low sometimes. Yeah, Garage Inc. was alright.
Yeah, some good stuff on there.
I just think
Um,
Am I Evil again, to be honest. Because that was only a bonus track on the first album.
yeah. Ghost. They have a new album in the works, right?
Yeah, and they are not going with a metal producer this time, which completely throws it up into the air as to which direction they're going to go.
Well, first of all, they're not a metal band.
First two albums, I say, are metal. Like, you hear Year Zero, that's some killer doom metal there.
It is. They have tinges of metal. I would never consider them a metal band. A hard rock band, I would say they are. Hard pop rock band, maybe.
I thought they're as
such
metal
a
as Sabbath are after Heaven and Hell.
Maybe.
After Sabbath drops the blues, that's kind of the sound I get off of it.
They say themselves, though, they're not metal, so...
Right. So does Tool, though, and Tool are a metal band.
Tool's something.
It's like a progressive rock band, I think.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'd agree if 10,000 Days wasn't an album.
Was what?
If 10,000 Days wasn't an album. Like, that album is pretty heavy.
It is heavy. That's the first Tool album I actually bought.
That's my favorite one. I still haven't bought one because they put on the most boring live show I've ever seen. But
Really? I was I hear people's rave about that. But getting back to... What?
sorry. Let's get back on topic.
Getting back to Ghost. I don't think you need a metal producer to put out a metal album or, hard rock album.
I don't think so either. Guar have been through a ton of producers.
Right, exactly. And I actually think it helps to maybe not use a metal producer, because a metal producer is just going to produce an album that sounds like another artist anyway. You get somebody else that does some other kind of... I mean, you don't want a rap guy doing a metal album or a rock album.
No, because then we'll have our drum beat and vocals.
Right, which is what happened to Chris Cornell on one of his solo albums.
God, what a tragedy that was.
That was terrible.
It was a
But,
waste of great voice.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it'll work. I mean, Tobias is doing all the music anyway by himself, so it's like,
I mean, after the new album, it should work fine anyway.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll sound like Ghost. Hopefully, it's better than the last album, because the last album was way too slow. Too many slow parts, too many like interlude things, and it's weird. Good album, but it could have been better.
Deep tracks weren't as good. I did like the hits off it though. Rats and Dance Macabre are pretty catchy.
Yeah, they are. They're very good. Greg hates them, although I did make him a Spotify playlist, and I'm sure he hasn't listened to it yet.
You ever seen
I
him
haven't
live,
had the
Greg?
time yet.
Damn it.
Huh?
You ever seen him live?
No, have had no interest in it.
I have.
I saw him open for Maiden, and they were almost as good
Oh,
as
really?
the live show. Yeah, off the third album, so it was still with Papa.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first Maiden show, too. I wish I could have gotten an opener that good the second time around.
Wow. Nice.
But no, Steve Harris's kids need a tour, so...
Yeah, I saw Maiden play with them too. Not Ghost, the kids band. God, that was
an age. That was it.
Wait, that's his son? He has a daughter.
Yeah, it's his son's band.
Oh, but he has a daughter.
Yeah, and she's in a crappy band too. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw her.
Yeah, I saw her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I hung out with you, Greg, outside of Maiden while Raven Age was playing. I was with my 13-year-old brother.
Fucking Carl.
Show. Do you remember? I barely even remember that. That was gnarly. And I'm just dragging my
just
kid
because that
along.
became the
Let's go see
catchphrase.
Maiden.
But I seen Ghost on the second album. They played like a little club over in New York City. Very cool. It was really cool. That was when they had Papa too.
They were pretty good.
Yeah. They put on a really good show, and it's just going to get better.
I thought Papa was Tobias, like How is he gone?
He's not gone.
It's a different character.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of like how Guar switches out
I
their
gotcha.
characters and stuff. It's not different. You'll never get it, Greg. I hope you do like at least one or two songs that I put on that list.
Yeah,
I'll check it out again. They didn't do anything for me.
Well, you didn't listen to my list.
No, I haven't had the time yet, dude. It's been like 2 days.
No, I sent that to you on Saturday. No, actually, I sent that to you on Friday, I think. Or Thursday.
All right, well, whatever. It hasn't been a full week yet.
Almost. This is a typical Greg thing. He's very, I don't know how to put it.
I like how I'm being lectured about time by a mailman right now.
Hey, I'll talk about that stuff on air.
I mean, they're late, but it's always going to get there.
That's it. Speedy delivery. Gatecreeper.
Okay, McFeely.
Gatecreeper. They're doing a split 10-inch record.
Yeah, they released that split 10-inch with Exhumed, and Exhumed did all cover songs, which kind of disappointed me, but Gatecreeper's half of it was awesome. I mean, they're good covers, but I'm always wanting new music, you know?
Who did they cover?
Oh, just 3 death metal bands. I had no clue who they were.
Oh, they covered death metal songs.
Right.
Oh,
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to the Exhumed tracks. I don't care for Exhumed.
The Gatecreeper tracks were killer, though.
Yeah, they were. I
Especially
really
the
liked
bass work on them. I was really impressed.
Very interesting.
Yeah, they've got a really good bass sound, man. I like it a lot. It reminds me a lot of early Morbid Angel.
Yeah. I think overall, though, they sound more like Obituary.
Yeah, altogether. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you like good metal, check out Gatecreeper. Just good death metal.
It's death metal. I wasn't a huge fan of the first thing we listened to, but it was okay. The music's good. I like the music.
I'm saying people are watching this too eventually, so might as well give the recommendation to them.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're one of the best. Fucking Old God's Return, man. Total Morse sound.
Let's try to get them on the show.
That'd be pretty
good. We should.
Let's try to do that. Nate, that's your job.
That's my job?
Yeah.
I can give it a shot.
It's very easy. I'll teach you. Don't worry.
Right. I'd be happy to learn.
What else we got? Anything else?
What else do I have? Oh, Spinal Tap resolved the recording dispute.
Which I had no idea there was a recording dispute.
Neither did I, but that makes me hope there's a re-release of the CD.
For the 4th time.
Yeah. I still can't find it anywhere.
You can't find it nowhere? Well, I guess
probably. I try not to buy online.
Well, there's no stores that sell CDs anymore. Unless you go to real...
There's a lot around Minneapolis.
Yeah. I have maybe 3 stores here that sell CDs. Besides Walmart. And I'm not buying anything at Walmart.
Yeah.
No. It's all censored anyway. What's the point?
No, they stopped doing that.
Stop doing that?
I think so, yeah. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I doubt it. Fucking Catholics.
They could also need another tour. They did a tour back in the 90s.
And wait, what did you say?
You are racist.
I'm not racist.
You're a racist against religions. A religious racist.
A religious racist.
Anti-Latin.
Hey, at least I left the JOOs out of it this time.
Yeah, good idea. Unbelievable.
Hey, I can't argue with a good deli, so the Jews are always cool in my book.
Great.
Hey, man, Larry David's great. Jerry Seinfeld. And, I feel for him, too, man. My grandfather died in the Holocaust. He fell out of the guard tower, but, kind of the same.
We just lost 10 subscribers. Yeah. We have some new subscribers.
I hate the fucking Germans.
Hey, I'm German.
I'm mostly German.
Thanks.
Well, Nazis, whatever.
I guess we got to put him to death now.
Yep.
Yep.
You know where he lives.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this is true.
Well, I have your address, so check the mail. All right.
Yeah. Wayne will be live from Guantanamo Bay next week after that one.
That head gets killed by mail bomb. Anthrax. Again, we're not changing our name.
All right, we have one more news story, didn't we?
Yeah, I was going to talk about Jon Zazula's new book.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be interesting. You know, just talk. Anyone who's doing record producing usually has a lot of stories.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
really, the guy founded Megaforce, and that's pretty much the beginning of thrash record labels, that and Metal Blade, and both are still around, amazingly.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a bunch of bands coming out of there. I mean, obviously Metallica, but you got Anthrax after there, and you got Testament and Overkill, SOD. But one I found out was
Exciter.
They might be giants. Were on Megaforce Records.
They
Really?
Really?
Yes.
They were a thrash band. They started out as a thrash band.
Of course. They might be giants with their awesome Slam debut.
Really? They might be giants.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell that song sounded like? What's that, like their first song that they released?
Well, shit was changing in the early 90s. You know, they might have been changing up Megaforce a little bit.
Oh my god. In Living Color were on Megaforce. You could put them together and have the Roy G. Biv tour.
In Living Color? You mean Living Color?
That's a good one.
I'm on a show with a bunch of racists.
The fuck are you talking about? It's about primary colors. What did you fail out of kindergarten art? God.
Yes.
It's like, I don't care how much melanin.
But
you
yeah,
have, as
no,
long as
the
it's not
show
too
was
much.
in Living Color. The band was just Living
Yes,
Color.
Living Color. Everybody, I could not.
That was the band, Living Color.
Yes.
I can't remember.
I can't
like-
stand when people do that. It's not in Living Color. God,
Okay.
really pisses me off.
Okay, I
Does
only
it
know
really
about the
grind your
personality.
gears?
Yes, it does.
They're like my least favorite black metal band. Like, come on.
What?
Don't sound anything like me.
I don't think they.
Now we got it.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to do there.
I know.
What is that?
It's on my sock.
Oh, nice, great.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. This week we have a show about the new Tool album. We did this a few weeks ago, and you'll notice Uncle Saxon, who is now gone, and will never ever be brought back on the show ever again. No, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
No, might come back and do some guest stories.
He probably won't. But anyway, yeah, you'll see him on here. And who the hell was your friend that we had on the show? I can't remember his name. Ethan, yes, Ethan. Just a friend of Greg's, and he's a Tool fan, and we were trying to get some opinions. Actually, you had something you wanted to say about you wanted to add.
Oh, yes, because, well, spoiler alert, everybody, none of us particularly cared for it all that much, but Ethan got back to me with an update, and he wants everybody to know the only way to be in the right mood to listen to the Tool album, the new Tool album, and like it, is to drink obscene amounts of cough syrup first.
Already done. Already covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So get your Robitussin and pop it in.
Actually, what's that?
A couple of Valium too while you're at it. You'll wake up after one song is over.
Yeah.
Like meat, I swear to God.
Whoa, what?
It takes forever.
What's wrong with Meatloaf?
It's like end the song.
Oh, God.
Steve Harris has got the same problem ever since after Brave New World as well.
That's true. No, he's had that before.
Yeah.
That happened before. X Factor started that.
Yeah, but X Factor was gonna be crap from the start. So
Oh,
it's
you
like,
shut your mouth. It's my
Yeah,
favorite.
he kind of moved back away from that on Brave New World, though. I mean, that was the reunion album, yeah. And then he kind of went back into it.
I've always thought it's been a problem since Seventh Son, though.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. As long as you keep your songs interesting, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I love everything on Seventh Son.
Yeah. But anyway, getting back to the Tool thing, one of our other shows that we have on our network, Lou Mavs, Music is Life show, he actually loves the Tool album. So I would love to have him come on the show and explain to us how this album could possibly be good. Because I don't hear it.
I never thought it was bad.
Or at least hook me up with his antihistamine prescription.
Exactly. So we'll try to get him on the show. And in the meantime, go check out Luke Mav's show. He has a new show on. It'll be on now. So I'll upload that soon. And also, Harry Barnett has a new show. He's on our network. So go check his show out. He talks to an old co-host of somebody he used to be a co-host of. It's a long story. Listen to his episode. It's very good. Harry is a very cool guy. So, anything else anybody wants to add?
Nope. Great. Other than crank your Merciful Fate records.
Yes, please do.
Always crank the Fate.
Yeah. Crank the Fate. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on here, Nate. And hopefully we'll see you next week.
Oh, yeah, I hope so, too. I kind of like this.
All right, cool.
Very sweet.
Cool. See what the comments say underneath the video.
All right.
Let us know if you like Nate. If you want Nate to stay, let us know.
If you don't, just leave a Yelp review. Then nobody will care.
Yo, this food tasted like flies and piss.
There's an annoying guy with a municipal waste shirt in my ear.
Very cool. All right, go check out Ethan and his Tool review with us, and we will see you next week. Adios, bye. Welcome to Rat Salad Review. Today we are here with Ethan Beerline. What's up, Ethan?
Not much.
Did you shower before we came on, Saxon?
How long before we came on?
I don't know. You tell me.
About a minute.
All right. So what's going on, Ethan? Why are you on our show?
So we're here to discuss the new Tool album.
Okay.
As I've heard.
No, we're not. We're not. No. Bye.
Oh, all right.
Actually,
that's cool. I've been dying to talk about Black Flag for a while. So.
Yes, please. Let's talk about Black Flag. Let me keep talking, and I'll be right back.
Sure thing.
I was so wasted. I was a hippie. I had a skateboard.
I was so fucked up. I was out of my head.
What the fuck is going on?
I was so wasted. Wasted.
What the hell? What the hell's going on?
Keith Morris stopped by.
Who?
Keith Morris. He serenaded us on his magical mandolin.
Who's Keith Morris?
And Henry came and kicked his fucking ass. And then they started watching TV and had a TV party.
Yep.
TV party
tonight.
Oh, I fucking love that song.
How old are you, Ethan?
All right. 18, about to be 19 in maybe 2 months.
Okay. Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, we used to work together. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, Ace Hardware.
Oh, this is that guy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He did not have a lot of good things to say about you, Ethan.
No, not
interesting.
Not that guy. That was Jacob.
He said you broke a snowblower? What was
yeah, something with a snowblower.
Ethan hasn't worked there in a while.
Yeah, it's been over a year at this point.
No,
Jacob was a fucking nutcase, man. That's all I have to say.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a family show, so keep the cussing down, please. Sure thing.
Wow, I like the cussing more. All right. Well, we're here to talk about this Tool album.
Oh, yeah.
So, who wants to go first?
Did you spend money on that?
Unfortunately, yes.
Well,
The coolest
Fool
thing.
me once.
The coolest thing. Yeah. The coolest thing is this. This little video screen, and it shows a video.
Really?
And,
huh?
yeah.
Huh.
It's pretty damn
Okay.
sweet.
Yeah.
Never seen that before.
That's the coolest thing about this whole release. And it also comes
I
with
like
this.
the artwork.
The artwork's cool, and it comes with this little, thing to plug into your, adapter, and then you charge the battery so you can watch this video that doesn't do anything but this. Well, it shows, this guy here flying through space or
It does
whatever.
about as much as the album does, apparently.
Basically, yeah. This is actually more entertaining than the whole album, to be
Is that
honest.
like a limited edition, or are they all like that?
No, this is a limited edition. This sold out pretty quickly.
Huh.
So,
How much that set you back?
$45, I believe.
Ah!
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn!
What?
I just got the first Coroner record, first press vinyl mint on fucking Noise Records for $30.
Wow.
You need to make better life decisions, dude.
Well, this thing is going for like $130 something on eBay. So,
wow, yeah.
and there's
That's
people
true.
buying it. There's people buying that. So I'm not really that big of a fool.
I can get 260 used CDs at Goodwill for what that costs on eBay.
Believe me, I know it's insane. But I don't know who wants to go first. I mean, Ethan, I think you're the only one that actually enjoys this album.
Yeah, sure. I'll go first.
All right.
I took notes and everything, honestly.
Oh, wow, good.
Cool.
I'm kind of split on the album. One half of me is I have an appreciation for more long form, more ambient, I guess, music that is less. I'm fudging the technical terms here, but less harsh as compared to normal metal. So I like this new Tool album in that regard, but
Okay.
comparing it to the rest of Tool's discography, it feels really flat and not as nearly as interesting, which is kind of a shame. There are a lot of tropes that I've noticed throughout the Tool discography. One of them being the 15-minute song, and I think that's one of the ones they kind of used up a little too much here.
Right.
And some tracks have a lot of ambience to them. You get sort of more of a feel of an environment, kind of, and I think they overuse that trope here too.
Mhm.
The lyricism also feels weaker comparatively, and I didn't notice as many of the sampling stuff they did in some of their older albums, like Inema, for instance. I liked a lot of the sampling in that one. So I think overall, it's kind of a mixed bag for me. I like it in some regards, but when comparing it to the rest of the work that Tool has put out over the past 3 decades or so, it falls pretty flat on its face.
Yeah, I think so too. How big of a Tool fan are you?
Moderately. I'm into more experimental music from the get-go anyways, so Tool is, and I also like metal too, so it's sort of a nice combination of those two. I haven't looked into much of the mechanics or stuff of their songwriting or anything, but I've heard there's a lot of actual mathematics at work there, lots of interesting rhythmic structures, chord progressions, all that stuff, and that's stuff that I like a lot. So that was one of the big draws for me. I also do like music that uses samples to a greater extent. Again, Inema, for instance, I liked a lot of the stuff in there. I forget the name of the song. It's the one with the German title, but they have like this German speech sampled in the background. I really like that song a lot. One of my personal favorites.
Yeah, I can't think what that is either. I'm a very, I don't know, middle of the road Tool fan, I guess. I just actually became a Tool fan from the last album. I like that one a lot. That was the one that really got me into them. I didn't like them when they first came out. Everybody seemed to like them, and everybody was annoying about it.
Yeah.
So I just like to stay away.
Yeah, 10,000 Days was definitely interesting. I think probably Inema was my personal favorite just for the weirdness of it. Lateralis is close second, probably.
Yeah. What about you? What about who wants to go next? John?
Who?
Oh,
Uncle Saxon.
Uncle Saxon. I'm sorry.
I'll go. I got 4 words for you. Album of the year. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with this album. It's absolutely perfect in every way. Maynard's vocals, he's outdone himself this time, people. You should run out and spend $45, get the limited edition, because it's totally worth it. It has a little video screen on it.
Yeah, watch.
There it is.
Here it is. Voila. And it goes on as soon as you open it. See that?
My only complaint is that the song Rosetta Stone's only 11 minutes and 11 seconds long. I think it should be twice that long.
Okay.
Other than that, people say that this is a pretentious album. I don't hear it. Of course, I'm the Tool elitist. He kind of lost me when he did Right in 2. I wasn't sure if that was a sexual reference or where he was actually going with that. I say bring back A Perfect Circle. I'm done.
They're still around.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, at least I think so. Even though James Iaea's back in Smashing Pumpkins again. Unless he's not in the band either anymore, then I don't know.
Go for it, Dragon.
Yeah. Most of the problems I had are the same ones Ethan does. It's too long and too disjointed. I mean, when they want to do cool extended shit like that, they can. But he way overdoes it here, and he's just seems like he's caught up on his own ego trip quite a bit. And there's stupid shit in there, like them clicking sound effects that really don't fit, and then it'll build up to something cool in the middle of a song, and there'll be this, nice riffy part that sounds like old Undertow or Anima or Opiate type Tool. And then it fades into ambience for, I don't know, about another 6 minutes, and then it ends with a terrible part. It seems like overindulgence and ego to me. It's just a bad album. I feel like it's got cool parts, but it doesn't come together into a whole. But I'm not really the biggest Tool fan in the first place. Quite frankly, you want to go good Tool album, go get something that Al Jurgensen put out instead. Ministry is the much better band if you want to talk like progressive industrial like that. I think Tool's overblown, and I don't really care for A Perfect Circle either. I really liked their earlier stuff, but like Lateralis, they did some extended pieces that were okay, so I thought maybe I'd like something on this, but this is worse than a Lou Reed record, man.
Oh my God.
I've lost all respect for you now, Dragon. The little respect I had left for you is absolutely gone.
That's okay.
I didn't have
gotta have a JOB if you want to be with me.
Oh boy.
I want to have Eddie.
Eddie! F!
What
I don't see no ring done.
For me
These
lately?
fingers.
Well, I listened to this album when it first came out about maybe 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, there's got to be something on this album that I'm missing. And every time I listen to it, I just hear the same thing over and over again. There's like Greg said, there's cool parts, and then they just crap on those cool parts and never go anywhere with any of it. And the whole album is just like one speed throughout the whole thing until it gets to the final song, and then it speeds up, and then it actually does, has some cool choruses and verses here and there, but then it still does not give you anything to want to go back and listen to this ever again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And also, too, why would you put a fucking drum solo on an album? I'm a drummer. Ethan, you're a drummer now.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make sense to put a fucking drum solo on an album?
Not particularly.
I mean, the guy, he's an awesome drummer, and he's doing drum solos basically in almost every song because he's doing all this crazy shit and fills and stuff like that. And does he need a solo?
No, definitely not.
Especially, it's over, 5-6 minutes, too? It's like, come on. And it's
Who do
got
you think
that...
he is, Bozio?
Oh,
Leave him alone, both of you.
yeah. And then it's got that, yeah, that's right. And then it's got that, like, that weird background noise and during his solo. It's just, I don't know. But yeah, I was just hoping for a lot better, and this album just really, really disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was really surprised because, like Ethan was saying, I hear that they have a lot of like that mathcore crap, and
Right.
a lot of it's really complicated. And
Yeah.
Zappa always managed to do something interesting, even if it was crazy, fucking weird, sound collages and have it come out. I'm just amazed this is as lackluster as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, even Brian Eno's ambient stuff, like airport music, I like that a lot. But the way he composes it is just better. I don't know how to explain it really, but this is just kind of boring.
Yeah. Oh, and I also too. After I did listen to it for that week, I gave it a rest for like another week or two. And right before we did this show, I listened to it twice, and I still have not found anything I liked out of this album. So.
What a negative Nancy.
You know what? I was trying not to be. That's why I listened to it so much, and it just nothing.
Well, it greatly enhanced your life. That's all I know.
Well, I have this now.
It certainly illuminated it.
I have the deluxe box set where if you open it, it has the video.
The magical screen.
Yeah, watch this. Yeah, see, there you go. And it plays sounds too. Hear that? You can buy that now for $45.
That just seems so pointless. Why would you bother adding something like that in the first place? I don't get it, man.
What would have been cool is if they had the screen, okay, and they played a video, but for every video, it plays the song. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There would be a reason to want to go back and look at this video. Make me want to listen and read the lyrics in the booklet and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But,
No.
Maynard's a fucking genius. You guys just don't get it.
I don't get it at
Fair
all.
enough.
Clearly.
So, I don't know. Do you think that, Ethan, do you think that this album maybe has things... when bands, like, they make an album and then they go back to, like, past albums and they incorporate it in with the new album? Do you think this kind of has anything to do with any of the older albums?
Honestly, not very much. I distinctly remember about a week before this episode, I just went through and listened to the whole Tool discography in one sitting just to get a refresher on everything. I think there were a few tracks here and there in some of their past works that seemed reminiscent of a lot of the stuff that's in Fear Inoculum. Particularly, I think the end of 10,000 Days, I think it's the second to last track. It feels very similar to a lot of the stuff, almost like a precursor to what you find in Fear Inoculum. But other than that, really anywhere else in Tool's past discography, there's nothing that is this textureless and sort of bland.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think so. And I was hoping it was, because maybe I was missing something,
Mm-hmm.
But apparently I'm not.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I have sort of a middle ground stance on this. I do like it because I like sort of the ambient feel of a lot of the tracks. I think the first one in particular, there's this, I can't tell what instrument it is, but it's kind of like a strumming and it's in this interesting pattern. For some reason, I really like that a lot. And then there's obviously parts here and there. I think you were talking earlier, there are sections where it builds up, gets stronger. Those were cool too. But again,
those sections that build up and you're like, oh, right, here comes that chorus. Or whatever. Right. Here comes some cool guitar stuff or whatever, and it just never gets there.
No, they don't develop it far enough, and then it just falls back into that sort of weird ambient trance stuff that is, personally I find interesting, but not terribly interesting comparatively.
Right. There's got to be something else there to make it more interesting. I was listening to it at work the other day, and a guy goes, oh, what are you listening to? And I said, it's the new Tool album. He goes, oh, how is it? I said, what you hear right now is how the whole album is.
Yeah, it sums it up pretty accurately.
Yeah. So it's a shame. So if we were going to rate this album, say from 1 to 5, or no, let's do 1 to 10, because we usually do 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
What would you give it, Ethan?
I think I'd give it a light 6, because I do like the theme, the feel, vaguely speaking, of the album, but I can't get over the fact that it just falls so short of everything else that Tool has made in the past, which is a disappointment.
Yeah, it is. What about you, Greg?
About a 3.
Wow. Yeah. Saxon?
Minus
11?
10.
What? I thought you loved this album.
I lied.
I'm going with Greg, giving it a 3. And I'm only giving it a 3 because of the video that's inside of the box that I will never watch because there's really no reason to.
Wow, man, we just need a little soundbite of you going, I'm a consumer whore, and how?
Hey, that's nothing. The day I went to go buy this, this guy walks into the record shop, right? And he goes, yo, you got the new Tool album? And the guy's like, yeah. So he goes over there and gets them. So then he looks on the albums, and on the back, there's these designs.
Uh-huh.
Now there are 4...
Jews.
Yeah, there are 4 different designs. I'm going to have to edit that now. Thank you. Now our show's going to be labeled anti-Semitic.
Well, you're right.
What a dick. There are 4 different versions of this on the back of, 4 different albums. The guy that came into the store wanted all 4 of them because all the symbols were different.
Jesus Christ.
Mean something in relation to the music?
I think it has to do something with each band member. I don't know.
So that right there, that specific pattern is a fractal pattern. It's a thing in mathematics. So maybe it's kind of an homage to the mathematical nature of their music, but I'm probably reaching a bit.
Well, you're probably right. I mean, it's sounds like something that they would do. I don't think anybody's Jewish in the band, is there? I don't know.
Wouldn't know.
I really
have
don't know.
no idea.
But there are
Maynard doesn't really sound Hebrew. It sounds more Alabama. But
yeah.
If you read the liner notes, it tells you to slaughter a lamb as a sacrifice to Tool before and after you listen to this album.
Oh, so all that clicking's really saying blood for ball, blood for ball. Got it.
Right. Or you'll turn into a pillar of salt.
Maybe if I watch the rest of this video.
I believe the
at the
fractal
end
thing, though. It's probably like whatever
be
the
a slaughtering
mathematical equation is of the parts they play in some song on there.
Mm-hmm.
Of the 4 distinct different band members, and clearly nerds buy all 4.
I couldn't believe that. And the store didn't have all 4. Actually, I think I might have had the 4th copy, but I wasn't going to show the guy. I wanted to get out of there as fast as I could. I thought it was funny. But yeah, that's how obsessed people got with this album. And for no reason, because it's a stinker.
Well, it's their first in 10 years or
10 years
like
or so.
that?
Yeah, give or take.
That's nothing. Metallica, they would take 10, 15 years to put out an album, and it still isn't as bad as this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I don't know,
your
man.
roommate?
Lulu is pretty old.
Yeah, we'll have to do a Misfits album. Wearing
Yeah.
a Misfits shirt. All right. Anything else anybody wants to add to this?
Not particularly.
No? All right. So.
Well, we
I
should
guess
have
that-
Ethan back on if we do some Black Flag, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What's your favorite band?
My favorite band is Death Grips. So they're very probably not kind of the stuff you'd talk about on this podcast here.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't like it. I like it, but I'll tell both of you right now, Wayne.
Yeah.
Neither of you guys will like it.
Why is
I
that?
sent a couple CDs to Greg a while.
Oh, Wayne, we're done.
We are. Well, what is Death Grips?
Honestly, so every band generally you can sum up with a genre, but in the case of Death Grips, there's not really a single genre that you can assign to them. I think the most you could probably approach is elements of hip hop, but mostly in rhythm structure and a lot of sampling, like an obscene amount of sampling. I think I just learned today that one of their songs sampled a scream from a tennis match. It's real weird shit. And I think 2 of the band members are genuine paranoid schizophrenics, so you can definitely see that in their music too.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
What's one of your favorite songs?
Favorite songs?
By them,
it's
by Gatecreeper.
by them. There's a song called Punk Wait. It starts off with a sample from an album called Songs from Saharan Cell Phones. And it seems sort of mild at first. It's just this repeating, I don't know what to call it, kind of like a warbling cry. But then out of nowhere, you just get hit by a literal wall of bass. And it's also got right there.
How the hell do you go to this? The metal, the Tool. That's weird.
Yeah,
I do want to check out the.
I like
More-
it. It
more of
sounds
this
like
stuff.
a bunch of deranged chipmunks on a rocket sled.
But they do have one album, Jenny Death. It's technically the second half of their 5th studio album, I think, which does have a lot of metal influence in it. There's a lot of guitar in it, a lot of more traditional metal rhythms. I think you guys might like it, but it still approaches weird in some instances.
Well, you just gave me a new thing to annoy the people at work with.
Well, I think their annoyance will probably increase tenfold when it hits that wall of bass.
Good. And I hope they're watching the show because you fuckers gonna fucking like this shit. All right, what metal stuff do you like?
I'll be honest, frankly, I'm not big or deep into the metal scene particularly. Obviously, like the big bands, Metallica, Tool, and then beyond that, it's kind of just random assorted songs that I find from here to there. It's probably borderline heresy to be saying this on a metal podcast of all places, but
Right.
I do like the stuff a lot when I find something I like. That's for sure.
That's the thing that people think about us. They think we just listen to metal, but that's not true. I mean, we just did the Cars the other day, and fucking the Police.
Nice.
And then, we did. What else did we do? That's kind of. We did 2 reggae albums the other day. We like. We go out of
Nice.
the metal genre.
All right, good shit.
Yeah, we like a lot of different things. Punk. A lot of people don't consider punk rock though, which is kind of weird to me. They think when I say we're a metal and rock show, they think it's just like AC/DC and then like Slayer.
Yeah.
I don't. He
We
does
have to
it.
do that every time Slayer's brought up from now on.
I was gonna say that you do that every time somebody says Slayer. Slayer. But yeah, we like so many different bands. I think what it is like there's so many different genres within rock and metal that people don't realize that. I consider rock basically anything, punk rock, pop rock. We like all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I like all sorts of metal, so it's it is what it is.
Yeah, I think people tend to often look at music genres as sort of uniform, holistic categories, and everything sounds the same within. But it's
Right.
more of a broad spectrum, and I think a lot of people miss that for sure.
Yeah.
I do definitely have a thing for punk for sure. I thank Greg for that. He introduced me to the Dead Milkmen maybe over a year ago, and it is still one of my all-time favorite albums for sure. Big Lizard in My Backyard.
I'll have to give that.
Anymore.
I'll have to give it a listen. I've heard of them for years, but I never even gave them a shot.
Bitchin' Camaro, bitchin'
Bitchin'
Camaro.
Camaro.
I ran over my
Over my
neighbor.
neighbor. God, I love that song.
Bitchin' Camaro. Now it's in
Now
all the
in all
papers.
the papers, my folks got me a chicken Camaro with no insurance to match. So if I have to cut down, please don't leave a scratch. I ran over some old lady one night at the county fair, and I didn't Get arrested.
Because my dad's the mayor.
There. Oh,
No, I don't want unleaded.
Going
All right.
on your son.
Tony Orlando and Dawn.
Tony Orlando and Don. And I ride past kids, they all spit and cuss, cause I got a bitch's Camaro. They have to ride
So
bus.
ride the bus.
So if I have to go through it,
Hey Jack, what's happening? I don't know. Well, rumor around town says you might be thinking about going down to the shore. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go down to the shore.
Flag
What are you gonna do down
on
there?
YouTube.
I don't know. Play some video games, buy some Def Leppard t-shirts. Don't forget your Motley Crue t-shirt. You know, all proceeds go to get their lead singer out of jail. Uh-huh. Can't wait to go down. Hey, we gonna check out the sandbar while you're down there? What's the sandbar? That's a place that lets 16-year-old kids drink.
All right. All right. Well, we'll get flagged on YouTube. I will. I'll put that on the iTunes version.
Love me 2 times, baby. Love me twice today. Once
All
for tomorrow, and once 'cause I've got AIDS.
All right. That's it. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much, Ethan, for coming on.
sure thing.
Thanks, Ethan.
nice to meet you. Again.
Nice to meet y'all too.
Yeah, you still didn't sway us any differently on the Tool album. Sorry.
Well, no worries. Wasn't my intent.
All right. Maybe next time.
Oh yeah.
All right. See you next week, everybody. Same bat time, same YouTube bat channel.
Oh, yeah. Voivod!
Flash.
And
Orange Sky.
What are you wearing, Ethan? Just a white shirt?
I'm wearing my Death Grips t-shirt actually.
Oh,
So
look at that.
ah, cool.
what a coincidence.
Yeah. All right. Adios. Bye-bye. All right. Well, that was... who the hell was it? Oh, Ethan.
That was Nate.
Oh, well, that was Nate. And we just watched Ethan.
Ethan. Oh, yes. Sorry.
Getting confused. All these new people on the show.
So many names.
So many names. I can't keep up with everybody. But, yeah. So check out, like I said earlier, Lou Mavs, his Music is Life podcast. And Harry Barnett, the I Don't Even Like Podcasts show. And also, I'm going to be doing Timo Tolkki. I'm doing a podcast with him today, actually, right after this. And that should be on next week. Or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Double whammy.
Yeah. And then, next week, watch for our first episode of This Broadcast Belongs to Them.
Yes.
Kingdom
What
podcast.
was that noise? Did your son just wake up or something?
The car.
Sounded
hear
very
cars.
ominous.
Is that what you heard?
No, it sounded more like ooh.
Well, it was a car. I hear stuff coming from your house all the time, so stop. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Wasn't judging you. I was merely speaking about the noise.
You were judging me.
No.
Yeah, you were.
No, I wasn't.
I'm really mad now. Goodbye, everybody. See you next week.
Wah.
Oh, see you later.